Hi, welcome to Aries season. If you've clicked on this video, I assume that you'd like to practice some yoga. I'm here to guide us through some movements and meditative techniques. The only thing that has to happen for these classes is that the time goes by, which it already is. So we're here, we've landed. We're aiming to really participate in being here with our bodies, practicing presence. There are a few different ways in which we can do this, different avenues to get us to the stilling of the mind here with our bodies. You might take a moment first to make sure that you're in a space that feels good and comfortable for you. You could get yourself the privacy that you need. Perhaps light a candle, dim the lights. And you can start out in any position that you like. You might be sitting upright. You may choose to lay down on your back for these first few moments. Be child's pose. Just taking some time to land in our seat, in our space. Go ahead and bring the gaze close to the body. Maybe even closing down the eyes if it feels comfortable for you. Noticing what's touching the ground, how our weight is being distributed, quality of ourselves here in the space. And noticing our breath. Inviting this sense of process. Encouraging this sense of process. Filling up and emptying out. On and on. Like the moon, like the sun, like the oceans, like the seasons. Not necessarily trying to balance out these points of opposition, but rather embrace whichever point we are at, so that we can increase our capacity to swing from one way to another with less resistance. The breath is something that happens whether or not we choose to participate. Same thing with this sense of process. Whether we like it or not, we get older in every moment. We started on the planet as little babies. And we can choose to participate in this transformation. But whether we do or we don't, we are transforming in every moment. See how that lands with you. Aries is the part of the sky that the sun transits through in the beginning of springtime. Starts at the spring equinox. It's equal point, daylight and nighttime. And we expand the days from here on through the summer. Going through cycles just like our breath, our heartbeats. You might set an intention for this moment here. And then whichever position you've chosen will meet in a tabletop position as you're ready to move into our movement practice. So shifting to hands and knees, we stack our shoulders directly over the wrists. And the hips are stacked directly over the knees. Middle fingers point forward, middle toes point back. Take a moment to kind of settle in here. You could wriggle the body back and forth. Let yourself get really heavy, kind of collapsing into the joints here. And on your next inhale, we'll press the floor away, creating length through the joints, through the spine. And on your exhale, we release again. So an inhale grows us tall. And then exhale to collapse. Again, inhale. Stay here on the exhale. So noticing what parts of ourselves are touching the floor. And noticing these points of contact where we might not be pressing into the floor as much, and seeing if we can evenly distribute the weight a little bit more. So all the fingers, the knuckles are pressing down evenly. Even the tops of the feet are evenly pressing along with the shins and the knees. So we're recruiting the body here in the moment and breathing into it. As you're ready, we'll lengthen the right foot back behind you, right leg lengthens back, right toes tuck under. So we've landed the foot on the floor, and you might just kind of rock yourself forward and back a few times. Stretching into the wrists, stretching into the calf. Noticing the breath move through the body as we move into the sensations rather than avoid them. You could continue doing this, or maybe pick the foot up off the floor. We're going to cross right foot all the way over to the left side. So past the left foot, and then look over the right shoulder. And you might choose to rock back and forth a little bit more. We're finding a bit of a side stretch, some movement in the hips here. Very nice. And then we'll pick this foot up off the floor, and we'll swing the leg all the way out to the right and land the right foot on the floor outside of the right hip. So you've lengthened the leg out. Leg could be straight or might have a little bit of a bend in it. Feel free to kind of wiggle around as you're there. And we'll move through a couple cat-cows in this position. So lifting the sitting bones up, arching the spine, looking forward as you inhale. And exhale, rounding, pushing the floor away. Again, inhaling to look up, open up the heart, lift the sitting bones up, and exhale to close it up. Empty the lungs. One more. And rounding. We'll find a neutral spine. And pick this right foot off the floor, and then lengthen the right leg back. You could keep the toes on the floor or pick the foot up so that the leg is parallel to the ground. And here, see if we can evenly distribute our weight. Nice long spine. You might stay like this or reach the opposite arm forward. Left arm reaches forward. You can take a deep breath in here, extending, and then crunch the elbow and knee underneath you. Inhale to reach long. Exhale to crunch. And we do one more. Inhale. Exhale. Extend to reset. And place everything down on the floor. Take any wiggles that you might need. And we'll try the other side. Lengthening the left toes back behind us. Left toes tuck on the floor, the left leg lengthens, and you can rock yourself forward and back. We're stretching again into the wrists. If it's a lot on the hands, feel free to make fists or if you have blocks or something to hold on to, sometimes it's nice to have this little bit of extra space. As you're ready, we'll pick this left foot off the floor and then cross the legs and land the left foot on the floor outside of the right side of the mat. And we'll look over the left shoulder. So you're finding a bit of a side stretch on the right side. Shifting around, pressing the floor away. Staying connected to the breath here in the moment. At least one round of breath. And as you're ready, we'll pick this leg up, lengthen it back out to neutral, and then swinging the left leg out to the side and landing the foot down onto the floor. And then feel free to kind of rock yourself side to side a little bit, bending into the joints, getting comfortable. Once you've found something that feels steady and stable, we'll lift the sitting bones up, arching the spine, heart pulls forward, we look up. And exhale, we round, tuck the tail under, forehead towards the pubic bone. Inhale to arch. Exhale to round. One more. And round. Find neutral spine. Pick the foot up. Lengthen this left foot back behind you. So the foot is the leg is parallel with the floor. Doing something with the foot, whether it's pointed, flexed, dorsiflex, evenly distributing our weight with what's touching the floor. Right now, 3 points of contact. And you might stay here or reach the right arm forward, extending opposite arm and leg. Inhale to reach. Exhale, connect the elbow and knee underneath you. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, crunch in. One more. And crunch. We extend to reset. And then place everything back down. Very nice. Let's tuck our toes under. We'll walk the hands about 1 or 2 hand distances forward and shift the shoulders over the wrists. So we're in this modified push-up shape. Fill the lungs up here. Inhale. And as you exhale, we're bending the elbows. We'll connect the chest and chin to the floor. Find empty lungs and then slither forward, sending the pubic bone down to the floor, tops of the feet to the floor. Heart pulls forward, look up, inhale, and then lower down, exhale. Inhale to cobra, again, lifting and lowering. Keep those feet and pubic bone pressing down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. We'll press into the hands, pass through tabletop, and bring the hips towards the heels, and bringing the forehead down towards the floor, maybe a block if the floor is far away, into our extended child's pose. Feel free to make any shifts and movements, of course. Here we're close with the body, close with the earth. Really grounding shape. You're welcome to come back here at any point. You're welcome to stay here. We'll just do 3 breaths together here. Feeling the stomach against the thighs on our inhales. And surrendering our weight down on the exhales. Another breath in. And out, give it back. Again, you can stay here. When you're ready, we'll come up into our tabletop again. Tuck the toes under and lift the knees up, sending the hips back behind us, finding our downward facing dog shape. Feel free to take a nice wide down dog for this first one. It's probably our only one. Feet wide, hands wide. Feel free to bend the knees as much as you like. You can wiggle around, maybe bending right knee and then the left, kind of walking it out. We're aiming
for a straighter spine than the legs, so feel free to bend the knees, prioritizing the length of the spine over the length of the legs rather. The head here is below the heart, and the head doesn't spend a lot of time below the heart, so it certainly is a shift in perspective. Don't be too hard on yourself if it's overwhelming or challenging. It would make sense that it would be. As you're ready, we're going to take a walk back with the hands towards the back end of the mat. So we're in kind of a forward fold back here, and keep those knees bent a lot so that we've got a stomach and thigh connection. Feet could stay wide, or you might walk them a little closer if that felt better for you. We'll lengthen out the spine, look forward, inhale, and exhale, folding over the legs. Just do a few like that. Inhale to lengthen out. Exhale to fold in. Again, inhale. Exhale, folding. Breathing in our fold. Feeling our feet on the floor, big toe mound, pinky toe mound, center of the heel, relaxing the back of the neck. You could hold on to opposite elbows. You might even like to interlace your fingers at the low back and pull the knuckles away from you for a moment, tucking the chin even more. If you've got a bind, we'll slowly release it. Hands back towards the floor. We're going to slowly come into rounding or into standing, rounding the spine, tucking the tail under, stacking up one vertebrae at a time. We'll reach the arms up, inhale. Then pull hands to heart, exhale. Very nice. Okay. From here, we've got our nice wide stance, standing at the back of the mat, if we like. Keep the hands together in front of the heart, or maybe bring them alongside, no problem. We're just going to bring the right knee into the chest, and then place it down. See if you can bring the breath in, so we're inhaling to bring the knee in, and exhaling to land. Let the breath guide the movement, so inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. One more, lifting the opposite knee up and down. So we're going to keep going. We'll lift the right knee up. Maybe this time bending both knees kind of into a squat on the exhale, and then we'll pick the left knee up and kind of squatting down, exhale. Inhaling to stand and balance. Exhaling to ground, earthing. Inhales and exhales. So of course you can move faster or slower than me. Let your breath guide the movement. We'll do probably about 8 rounds here. Nice Kriya, cleansing the body with the breath. Feel free to open up the arms if you like. Allow yourself to flow. Toes are spread. Noticing the cycles. You might choose to get really deep. One more. We'll land both feet down and just take a moment. Perhaps hands over the heart. Okay, keeping our wide stance here, I'm going to do a little bit of twisting. So middle toes point forward. Ideally, we're twisting just at the navel point above the hips. So rather than keeping the legs moving, we're seeing if we can keep this lower half of ourselves grounded down. You can go ahead and let your arms get really slack. Take a moment to kind of roll them out, swing them out rather. And then as you're ready, we'll start to twist. So allowing the arms to kind of ragdoll here. Notice the feet on the floor. A little bend in the knees is nice. Swinging the arms around. Notice the breath, notice the floor. Keep the gaze close to you, perhaps closing the eyes. And we're twisting for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Slowing it down so we're not doing an abrupt stop here. And then take a moment to feel what this feels like in your body. Again, you could take the hands over the heart. Feeling the floor underneath us. And then as you're ready, we'll bring the hands onto the hips and we'll step our feet together. Or close to together, enough that we can feel a proper balance. And this different stance in the body perhaps brings different information to us. We're going to bend the knees and sit in a chair on an inhale, and exhaling standing. So again, inhaling to sit, find the bottom or find the top, and then exhale to stand, find the bottom. So filling up completely and holding, and emptying out completely and holding. Keep going. Your own pace. Now you may stay with this movement, or we add on as we sit down. We lift up on the toes, so lifting the heels up, and then lengthen the legs out and lower the heels down. So it's a sit, inhale, and lift the heels up. And then a stand, exhale, and lower the heels down. We'll do about 5 rounds. Inhale to sit, lift, stand, lower. Last 3. Notice our tendency to rush. The only thing that needs to happen is that the time goes by. Complete your last round here, and we'll find standing again, this time arms by our side, perhaps palms facing forward. Very nice. Let's take a walk up to the front of the mat from here. We'll reach the arms up, inhale, look up to the thumbs, and then diving over the legs, hands to the floor, relax the head, lengthen out, inhale, and then we'll step our feet back to our plank pose, lower the knees to the floor, bend the elbows, chest and chin down. Slither forward to cobra pose, inhale. And then we'll pass through tabletop and come back to that child's pose again. Hips towards the heels, forehead to the floor. Three rounds of breath. Full and complete. We'll walk the hands back towards the knees and then press ourselves upright. So we're sitting on our heels here.
And then as you're ready, we'll come down onto our butts. So you can shift the feet to one side and swing the legs around. We'll go ahead and take a wider stance with the legs. Feel free to use the hands behind you as support. You might notice that you're rounded behind the spine. And if so, we might bend the knees a little bit and see if we can sit in front of the sitting bones with a taller spine. So it might be a lot for the hamstrings. Please breathe into the position that you're in. And if we're experiencing pain, then we back off. So you're ready, we're gonna bend the left foot to the inner right leg. And we're just gonna do a side bend from here. So you can bring the right hand to the inner right leg, or you could cup the opposite knee with the right hand. And then we'll reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. So we're just sending our roots down as we reach up to find a side stretch along the left side. The shoulder is also lifting in the direction that the fingers are reaching. And we're breathing into the space that we've found, the sensations, like we're breathing into a balloon. Feel free to lean a little bit further over into the direction of the extended foot if you have space. Last breath in and out. We'll gently come back up. Place this lifted hand right outside the hip, and we're gonna circle the other arm up as we prop up on the knee. So we're kind of in this rinsed out back bend. And then we'll lower the hips down, and we're just gonna switch the legs. So the left leg is extending, right foot towards right inner left thigh, right knee is bent. And same thing, hand on the inside of the leg. Make sure that both sitting bones are rooting down, perhaps cupping the right knee with the left hand. We'll reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. So shoulder blade is reaching in the direction that the fingers are reaching. We're sending our roots down, feeling what's touching the floor, and reaching up at the same time. Sending our breath to the spaces where we feel the sensation for 3, 2, last breath in and out. We'll gently come up, hand comes just outside of the hip behind us, and then we circle into like this rinsed out back bend shape. And we'll lower the hips down. Okay, let's bring the legs together here. Keep a bend in the knees. And we're gonna reach forward for our big toes. So holding on to the big toes with the peace sign fingers and the thumbs. We'll pull the toes back. See if you can keep all the toes in one line. And we'll press the big toe into the fingers. So we're pulling the toes with the hands and we're pushing the hands with the toes. We might find this unlocks a little bit in the body. Breathe into what you found. If you have lots of space, you might walk the heels a little further away from us. But stay at a place where you can breathe. You feel like you're working with the body, not against it. Last 3 breaths here. 2. And 1. We'll release the grip and come into an upright seat. And then we'll just finish with a seated twist here. So keep lengthening these right leg long. Left knee can bend, left foot to the floor, and we'll bring the left foot outside of the right knee. So we'll hug onto this lifted knee and start to twist over towards the left. You could stay here or reach the left arm up, inhale, and place the hand back behind you like a second spine. Inhale, right arm up. An elbow can come outside of the knee. Our inhales grow us tall, and our exhales twist us deeper. One more. And twist. Let's release. And we'll switch the grip. We'll switch the legs. So we'll lengthen the left leg long. Right knee bends. Right foot outside of left knee. And you can just hug onto this knee, twisting towards the right. Choose to stay here. Reach the right arm up. Inhale. And place it back behind you. Second spine. You could stay here. Inhale, left arm up. And elbow comes outside the lifted knee. So we're coming out of the twist to grow tall. Inhale. And looking over the left shoulder, right shoulder. Exhale. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, twist deeper. Last one. Very nice. We'll unravel as you're ready. Unraveling the legs. You can scoot yourself to the middle of the mat. And we'll round ourselves down to come down to the back. You can bring the knees into the chest. And just take a few rocks side to side here. We're holding on to our knees, shins with either hand. We'll start to pull the knees down towards the armpits, towards the sides of the body. And similar to how we were hooking the toes with the hands, we've got that opposing action happening. So we're pulling the knees towards the armpits, but then we're pushing the knees into the hands. Just enough that you feel some sensations that you can breathe into. This is a half happy baby pose. Feel free to get some rotations of the ankles here if you like. If you like a full happy baby, if that's something that's in your practice, you might reach between the knees to the big toes or the outsides of the feet with the hands. And same thing with the grip. We're pulling as we push. So pushing the feet into the fingers, pulling the feet with the fingers, with the hands. And you might choose to rock side to side some more. Really finding that happy baby energy. You could lengthen one leg out at a time if you have the space for it today. You might even try to make a happy baby noise to close the class by fluttering the lips. It's a big inhale. You can laugh at yourself. Maybe one more. If there are any other shapes or movements that you're looking for in your time on the mat right now, please go ahead and take it. As you're ready, we'll send the feet to the floor and find our corpse pose. So that might be with the feet a little wider than the knees and the knees together. You could have the hands face down on the body somewhere. Or you could go for the traditional Shavasana shape with the legs extended, feet to either corner of the mat. Palms could stay where they are or come palms face up alongside the body. Just allowing yourself to really relax and let go here. Or letting the body know that when it puts in effort that it will get to rest afterwards, that we respect this balance. Just allowing yourself to sink or float, expand like a pool of water in every direction. I'll close our practice here. If you would like to extend your rest, I definitely invite you to do so. Continue laying here, letting go of everything that no longer serves you. You might take a moment to thank yourself for taking the time out of your day to spend some time with the body. You might thank the body for taking you through all of the time that we have on this planet. Thank you for practicing with me, being courageous enough to go through with something new. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your Aries season. Thank you so much.